You're watching Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham here with the latest Mavericks news and rumors. Let's go ahead and dive on in here. Could Russell Westbrook be on his way to Dallas this offseason? According to some recent betting odds, the Mavs are apparently among the favorites to land Russ in NBA free agency. You look at his odds here of where he'll play next, and the Clippers are the favorites, which makes sense because he played some of the better basketball of recent years in his career there, the second half of the season and in the playoffs, plus 400 there. Magic plus 450, maybe just a team that would throw him some money. Mavericks at plus 500, the Mavs best they could do probably is throw him the mid-level exception. Bulls at plus 525, then the Rockets at plus 800. I don't think he's going back to Houston. I'd rather not. Like, can we not go down this road? And look, I will commend Russ. I actually thought he played some really good basketball for the Clippers down the stretch. I mean, in a series where Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are unavailable due to injury, he tried to keep that team afloat and had a couple of big games. And, you know, last year as a whole, his season stats were pretty decent. I mean, 16 points, 6 boards, 7.5 dimes. You know, field goal, three-point percentage, kind of right on par for his career, just under 44%. He's never been a great three-point shooter, but he also didn't take as many reckless shots as he has in the past. Now, I don't think he's that much of a winning player. You know, I said this a couple years ago, and I'll stand by it. I think if he could accept being a 20 to 25 minute per game guy on a mid-level type of contract, third guard for a team, I think he could be really effective. And at times, he was that for the Lakers and Clippers this year. But you just don't know what kind of mindset you're going to get out of him from night to night on a nightly basis. So I would rather avoid Russ. Again, his play with the Clippers has me at least like somewhat thinking about what it could look like, but in the end, I would rather not go down that road. And quite frankly, I mean, if Kyrie's going to be back, then you don't need, you know, a lot of extra ball handling. I mean, you could go with a lesser name to handle the ball off the bench, but Jaden Hardy can be that guy. I think he showed enough this year. So I think getting wings and bigs is going to be a bigger priority, assuming you do land Kyrie Irving. Would you sign Russ in NBA free agency? Type S for sign, P for pass. All things considered, I would probably pass. I think he'll probably just stay with the Clippers, to be honest. I think they'll probably run back that core one more year. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Join the family here at Mavericks Today. All things Mavericks coverage all off-season long. The latest news, rumors, draft, free agency coverage. NBA draft lottery a week from Tuesday. So we'll find out if the Mavs do secure a top 10 pick, and if they do somehow jump up into the top 4. That would be fantastic for this franchise. YouTube.com/MavsTV. Turn on those notifications, and we'll have you guys covered. All right, we just got to laugh out loud at this one. John Hollinger of The Athletic says the Utah Jazz are keeping a very interested eye on Luka. Got news for you, Johnny. So are 29 other NBA teams, or 28 other, I should say. Of course, every team always keeps tabs with every superstar situation. Like, Luka's no different. Now, I do understand the sentiment of this year being a disaster for the Mavs, for lack of a better term. But to just report specifically, the Jazz, they're monitoring that. Guess what? So are the Knicks, so are the Heat, so are the Lakers, so are every other team out there, because they would love to build their franchise around Luka Doncic. Obviously, this upcoming year is a big year for Luka and the Mavs. I mean, there's just simply no way around it. I mean, the trajectory of this franchise goes as Luka goes, and if they fail him and they don't build enough around him, he eventually will probably leave. But let's just get this out there. Until Luka demands a trade, and I don't think we're really as close to that as people think, the Jazz are not getting him. Like, the Mavs are not going to trade Luka unless he simply refuses to play for you. Like, that's the only way it would happen. And by the way, if Luka does request a trade down the road, year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, because he doesn't think things are going to work out in Dallas where he can win a championship or hopefully multiple championships, I got to be honest, Utah is pretty far down the list, folks. I mean, I don't think he wants to go to the Jazz. I think he'll want to go to South Beach. I think he'll want to go to New York. I think he'll, maybe be interested in being like LeBron's successor in LA or something like that. That's just, the old Jazz. Keep on playing that music, because you're not getting Luka Doncic if I have any thought about it. But yeah, in a greater sentiment, obviously, if things continue to go poorly, those rumors of him getting or wanting out will heat up, But the Jazz specifically, no. Like, that's just not going to be the case. He's going to want to go to a big market and be a star and all of that. So, I think you can feel okay right now with where things sit, but pressure starts to ramp up this season. There is no doubt about it. What is your concern level about Luka leaving? Scale 1 to 100. I'll go like 50 right now. I'm not overly concerned, but it's a big season coming up. I mean, this is a team that needs to be back in the playoffs and at least winning one playoff series, I would say. You do that, I think that'll simmer things a little bit. You miss the playoffs or, sneak in and are one and done or something, that's, the pressure ramps up even more. But leaving for the Jazz, yeah, that's not where we're at right now. Support Luka, support the Mavs. Pick up this Luka City Edition jersey, chatsports.com/Luka City. And will they have new City Editions next year, Coop? So these are going to be collector's items soon. So if you want to get these City Editions while they're still available, go pick them up. Chatsports.com/Luka City. I know it was a rough year, but these City Editions were pretty sweet. Go check them out today. All right, let's talk a little draft. The Mavs have worked out Emoni Bates. If that name rings a bell, it's because he was a massive recruit just a couple of years ago. He has entered the draft after really a wild 2 or 3 years for this kid. And just to kind of recap and inform some of you who may not know, Emoni Bates was the number 5 overall recruit in 2021. He committed to Memphis, was expected to be one and done. Things did not work out there. Transfers to Eastern Michigan, of all places, and put together a pretty solid season. He certainly had some volume stats here. I mean, he didn't have the best splits shooting-wise, but he also had free reign to kind of just do whatever the hell he wanted. Like, he shot the ball a ton. He would pull up from 35 from the logo and stuff like that. I can't remember who it was against, but he had like a 40-piece against a pretty big program. I want to say it was Michigan in non-conference action. So he's got skills. I mean, he's a 3-level scorer. There's no doubt about it. There is off-the-court stuff that's concerning for sure. I don't know where he really fits in the draft. I don't think like the 10th pick where the Mavs could be picking is really that much in play, but maybe they trade down, pick up an extra pick, or maybe they make a trade where they get a late first or an early second. I think somewhere in that range, between 25 and 40 is probably where he's going to go. But the talent is absolutely there. Other workouts the Mavs have done. Kendrick Davis, who played at TCU for 1 year, SMU for 3 years, and then in Memphis for a year. So he spent a lot of time in the DFW area. They've worked him out. Jalen Forbes out of Tulane. Alex Fudge, the wing out of Florida. And then we're going to call him Mikey S. here out of Dayton, another wing there. I think they're going to be connected to a lot of wings. Who's the guy, Coop, the UCF kid? They've been linked to a bunch. Taylor Hendricks, and a lot of mock drafts is a player Mavs have been linked to because they need perimeter defenders. And I think you'll see a lot of that. NBA Lottery is next Tuesday. We'll be live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, so if you want to come react with us live over there to see who gets the number 1 pick, and if the Mavs do keep their pick, remember they got to stay in the top 10 to do so, otherwise it conveys to New York. And then if they jump into the top 4, we'll probably have a video after that live show, so be on the lookout for that. Take a guess, predict it. Will the Mavs keep their pick? Conspiracy theorists would say no chance after they tanked, which I guess they tanked, but so did about 4 other teams. Type Y for yes, type in for no. I'm going to be positive. They're keeping their pick. Let's go. Mavs picking in the top 10. Hopefully the number 1 pick. Victor comes here, saves the franchise with Luka, and we go win 10 championships. Y for yes and for no. Let me know. We'll see you guys soon.